Hello, I'm Ellie. I'm a chiropractor and a Pilates instructor. We are on day 3 of this lower back pain thing, and today we're going to be looking at flexion and extension through the spine. If you don't know what that is, flexion, extension of the spine. So we're going to utilise that today. Don't do this unless you've been signed off by your healthcare professional to do some lower back activity. If you do it without any professional advice, do it at your own risk. It's going to be super gentle, but please be careful. We'll start standing today, so I think that is going to cut the top of my head off, but I won't be standing for long. So we're going to be on our feet about hip distance apart. If you're unsure of how wide apart that is, generally speaking, so it's not too specific, generally speaking, 2 vids width in between the feet is a really good way of measuring it. Once you've got that going, you're going to stand up nice and tall, imagining there's a string on the top of your head that's pulling you up. And then on your next exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, and you're going to slowly just start to roll down through your spine, really nice and gently, until you walk all the way down. You can keep your knees a little bit soft, let your head go, let your neck go, just hanging out for a moment before we get moving. I'm going to roll it back up, start to soften the knees, to tuck the tailbone, slowly peel yourself back up, vertebra by vertebra, until you walk all the way up to standing. We'll do that twice more. Bring your chin to your chest, slowly trying to work vertebra by vertebra. It's quite hard to do. You kind of sometimes just want to go bang and miss it all, but try and really just peel through the spine. It's like you're restacking really slowly. And we'll stay down on the next one, so roll all the way down. Bring your chin to your chest. Fabulous. And then come onto your hands and your knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We'll go onto the old faithful cat-cow. So, keeping your elbows a little soft if you have a tendency to hyperextend them like myself. Little micro bend there. You're going to take a breath in. Arch the lower back, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone up to the spine, really extending the spine. And then on your exhale, pushing away, rounding, finding a nice stretch in between the shoulder blades. You might also feel it down into the lower back, even neck potentially. Okay, I'm just going to do that twice more, so take a breath in, arching, and a breath out, rounding. Let's do that once more, breath in, and breath out. Okay, so let's bring the hips into the equation with this flexion and extension. You're going to take your right foot to the outside of the right hand. Depending on your hip and your hamstring mobility, this might already feel like enough of a stretch, so you might need to make the next bit really, really, really small. But if you feel okay, you can experiment with coming forward a little bit further. From here, more flexion and extension. So we're going to start with an extension. I want you to arch your lower back gently. This is not going to be as evident as our cat-cow. I'm going to move really, really slowly, not pushing, not forcing anything. And then we're going to push the floor away and we're going to round. And just see what that does to the hips, to the lower back. Let's go for 2 more of these. Breath in. Really trying to extend. It's not going to be a huge movement. Breathing out, rounding. Once more, breathing in. And breathing out, rounding. Okay, and then bring that right leg back. We'll do the same on the other side, so taking the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Depending again on your mobility, you might be a little bit more here, that's fine. You might be sort of in a really deep lunge. I don't really mind too much as long as you have no pain and you're not pushing yourself into a position your body is not comfortably falling into. You're going to take a breath in, start to arch your lower back, lift the crown of the head up. Find this little arch curvature here, lordosis, and then you're going to push the floor away. Finding a little flexion. Feel free to make this as big or as small as you want, just don't push it. Don't overdo it. Take a breath in. And breath out. Once more, breath in. Breath out. Superb. Okay. And then you're going to find yourself through to a seated position at the front end of your mats. Just make sure you have a little bit of space to lie down on the floor. You're going to sit with your feet about hip distance apart still. Have your hands out in front of you. Long spine, take a breath in. Extension, really lifting up the chest. Exhale, let all that oxygen go. You're flexing the spine. So we're starting by tucking the tailbone underneath us. We're going to take, I'll try and keep the shoulders relaxed as you do this. We're going to take the lower back to the floor, and then the mid back, and then the upper back. You can reach your hands over your head as you take another inhale through the nose, and then as you exhale, that's going to initiate your roll back up. So bring your hands back up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin towards your chest, and you're going to slowly, steady, peel back up vertebra by vertebra. If it feels a little like you have to jump or your feet are coming off the floor, please do not worry. That can sometimes happen if we have a little stiffness through the spine. If the core is feeling a little tired today, that's completely fine. Something to work on. Slowly rolling down, trying to peel vertebra by vertebra. Take a breath in here. Breath out, bring the hands back up. Bring your chin to your chest, trying to peel again, vertebra by vertebra. Sitting up tall, lengthening the spine. Didn't really emphasise that on the last rep, but emphasising it now, find the length, and then we'll curve that back down. Hands over the head with a lovely big deep breath in. Breath out, bring your hands back up, bring your chin to your chest. Alright, we'll just come down and we'll stay down. It's getting a bit boring now. And also I think our spines are feeling quite flexed, quite extended. So we'll roll down and we will stay down. Fabulous. And then once you're down, shuffle your feet in a little bit. You're going to place your hands onto your hip bones, onto your ilium bones. And we're going to do some flexion extension through the sort of the sacroiliac joint in the lower back. So basically the pelvis and the lower back, lumbar spine. So what I would like you to do is take a nice big deep breath in. We did this in one of the previous videos where you're flaring your rib cage out, you're letting everything sort of stick out, like your belly really, really flare out and puff out. And then on your exhale, you're going to do the opposite. Feel everything pull in. And as you do that with your hands on your hip bone, on your ilium bones, you'll feel your pelvis sort of do this like rocking motion, flexion and extension. So I'm going to go through 4 more of those. I want you to take a breath in. Feel the effect that that breath has on your pelvis and exaggerate it. Breath out. Tucking the tailbone. So you're scooping your tailbone up to the sky. So all we're really doing is breathing, but we're exaggerating the effect of what that breath does to our pelvis and our lower back. Take a breath in. And a breath out, or pelvic tilt you could call it. Let's go for 2 more. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Once more, breath in. Breath out. Fabulous. Now hold that there, sort of chucking upwards. Just make sure you can breathe, so you might need to back off about 20% so you can actually let some oxygen in. You're not just taking everything up. You want this slight pull in, but make sure you don't pass out. We're going to roll ourselves back up. So we'll sort of go to halfway on the way back up. Our hands are going to go up towards the ceiling. Chin is going to come towards your chest. Slowly, steady, rolling back up. To seated. Lace your hands behind your thighs. We're going to scoop our thighs up. Make sure you've also got a little space behind you. scooping the thighs up, have the shins parallel-ish with your ceiling, hopefully your ceiling is straight. Bring your nose towards your knees slightly, so it's like you're trying to make yourself into a little tiny ball. I don't want your back to stay straight here because we're going to massage out the spine with a little rock roll backwards. So you want to try and create a nice curve. Imagine that you have a ball here or something here, and you're going to try and keep it here between your head and your knees. If you do have a football, basketballs, volleyball, something knocking around, feel free to give this a go, so please be careful. We're going to gently rock backwards, trying to maintain this shape. So we're going to take a breath in and breathing out. You might lose the shape a little bit like I did then, but we're going to try it again. Taking a breath in. That's better. Breath out. Let's do another 2. Breath in. Breath out. One more. Just to finish off with massaging the spine. Breath in. Breath out. If you're feeling brave, you can hold it here for 30 seconds. But if you want to go and do something else, go ahead. We will leave it there for today.